It's time for News 2 at 11 with Dana Tyler, Stephen Clark, Mark Dannon with weather, and Warner Wolf on sports.
And here's what's new tonight at 11. This is it. You're looking live at Times Square as the countdown to 2000 is in its final hour now. Good evening. It's so far so good with no serious problems this New Year's Eve.
It is less than 1 hour to go before the big moment, and we have this big party covered for you. We have a team of reporters covering the festivities, plus a countdown clock on the lower half of your screen you see on the right. Let's begin in Times Square, where the crowd grew so large, police have been turning revelers away tonight. News 2 reporter Lou Young is there live. Lou?
Indeed, it seems every spot in the city with a line of sight to that ball up there has somebody already standing on it. Take a look here. Times Square is packed, as is 7th Avenue and Broadway, all the way north to Central Park. You can see the balloons have been handed out. They're bouncing around in the crowd. The party favors, the purple hair. Everybody's stoked for the next hour or so, waiting for the Millennium to come. This party is full. They seem to be enjoying themselves despite the fact they're crammed into pens like refugees awaiting transit. These folks are waiting for the Millennium in Times Square. Some have been here so long, they sort of moved in, made themselves comfortable.
We came here at 7 a.m. We have a newspaper box for a seat. We got a sheet from the Marriott for our bedding. And me and my 2 daughters and my wife are enjoying this.
There are literally people here from all over the world standing shoulder to shoulder with New Yorkers from all over town. From Iceland?
Yeah.
Do you like being penned up like an animal?
Perfect.
Yeah?
The smallest place I've ever been in my life.
But you're having a good time?
Sure. Well, come on, New York, year 2000. Woo!
All night they've been watching Y2K advance across the time zones from the east. Every hour, on the hour, they're counting down, watching midnight arrive again. And every hour on the hour, it's another party, a dress rehearsal for what's going to happen at midnight. Watch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Since I was a kid, I wanted to watch the ball drop in New York, and I figured this would be a big one.
This is a big one.
This is the big one.
A lot of people consider this a must-attend event. Even those who by now aren't having the best of times standing in the cold waiting are thinking about how they're going to brag about being here tomorrow.
To say we were here, you know, I think that pretty much says it all.
You want bragging rights?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We know we're going to fight the crowds back to the train, get back to South Jersey, Philadelphia, but it's more, like you said, bragging rights, saying we were there, we weathered the storm, and we made it out alive.
And a live picture now, and here's some of the balloons being held on a side street, just waiting for the Millennium Midnight to be released. There are other big Earth-shaped balloons that have just bounced out into this crowd here. People are getting kind of stoked up. Take a quick look around. They've handed out the balloons and the purple hair, and people who have been waiting patiently for 10, 12 hours are now coming alive, knowing that the Millennium is less than an hour away. We're live in Times Square. Back to you folks in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Lou. Stand still. We'll be back to you shortly. When every soul is counted, the crowd in Times Square is projected to be the largest ever. In fact, it may already be. 2 million people are expected to attend the Big Apple's Big Bash. So a lot of folks have to settle for partying someplace on the side streets. But our News 2 reporter Emily Francis is live on West 43rd Street, looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. Emily?
Hello, Dana and Stephen. Right now I'm at the corner of 43rd Street and 8th Avenue, where hundreds of people, and I mean hundreds, are trying to get across those police barricades into Times Square. Instead, as you can see, they are stuck on this side of the frozen zone with me. So all of you at home who are trying to come down here, take this as a lesson, because you have no chance of getting in.
You don't have to be packed in like sardines in Times Square to enjoy the Millennium celebration. Even for the people who got stuck on the 8th Avenue side of the police barricades, they still found a way to enjoy the festivities.
Happy New Year!
So just who are the people willing to bear the cold weather and the crowds? Well, we found out that the majority are not from New York City. This group came from beautiful, warm Tucson, Arizona, just to be a part of the experience.
Thank you. From Tucson, Arizona, Happy New Year!
Bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Très bien.
The new Millennium started hours ago in Belgium, but Nicolas Dupont of Brussels says the action is right here in the Big Apple.
That's the only place to be.
Only place to be, huh? Better than being in Brussels?
Sure.
Why?
I mean, that's the famous place in the world.
These Uncle Sam lookalikes drove down from Boston.
But what are your expectations at midnight?
Total pandemonium.
And you're laughing about it.
Yes. No, I think I'm going to be broken up a little bit.
While millions of people are packed into Times Square below, hundreds are enjoying the view from above. This is perhaps the best spot in the world to ring in the new year. And when the crystal ball drops at midnight, it will be an event to remember for the next millennium. With the view of the sparkling ball next to the lit-up Empire State Building and the last sunset of the millennium, these event planners say it's simply magical.
Fortunate's not the word. It's pure luxury.
Now back to those of us who are on the ground without the view. You can see this sea of people who are going to have to ring in the new millennium outside of Times Square. Just so you know, police are on full alert. They want to make sure that it remains crime-free, so all of us can have a happy, healthy new year. And to Dana and Stephen, I just want to do this to say Happy New Year to you, all of you guys inside the studio. Reporting live from 43rd and 8th Avenue, I am Emily Francis, News 2. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year. And to everybody there who seems to be having a pretty good time, even though they're not right in the square. Instead of celebrating in Times Square or at a friend's house, 10,000 people are getting ready to ring in the new year with a midnight run. Outside with their families in one of the landmark areas of New York City, Central Park. News 2 reporter Sukanya Christian joins us live from the park with a preview of the big race. Sukanya?
Hey, Dana, Happy New Year to you. We are live here in Central Park where these folks said, you know what, forget about Times Square. We're going to do it right here in Central Park. Of course, they're in costumes. This isn't any old regular run. You got the snowman from New Jersey. You've got the club over here. They say they drink and then they run. I don't know what about that, but you know, it's New Year, so we're going to have to give them that. And then check this out. It's the year 2000. It's the year 2000, and they're just having a great time and getting out of control because the 5K run is about to start in an hour.
Gloves. You definitely need a sweatshirt, and don't forget your socks.
Talk about waiting till the last minute to figure out how you're going to celebrate the new year.
It's such a high. I mean, I've never enjoyed New Year's Eve as much as running the race in Central Park. It's just a fantastic experience.
That's right, no black tie party for these folks. Put on your running shoes and let's celebrate the millennium with an annual 5K midnight run. Where else but Central Park?
Family that runs together.
Has fun together?
Yeah, you got it.
For many of these runners, there's no other way to ring in the millennium. Black tights, not ties, I said. Some even dress up for it like this woman. She's a Y2K bug.
We were trying to have faith that the computers wouldn't crash and we would be safe in New York City.
We're looking to start a tradition.
Yeah, you're going to start a tradition here?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're starting the millennium off right with fitness and hoping to take good care of ourselves.
Cool. And for this 21st annual midnight run, it's going to kick off with one heck of a bang for runners.
Well, this is something like 3 times the amount we've ever done here in the past.
So you're going to put on quite a show for the runners in New York City?
Oh, my God, they're going to really, really enjoy this. They're really going to enjoy it. I think we're going to enjoy it very much, too.
They're going to really enjoy it because the fireworks are going to start at 12, and when they're done with it, they get a medallion like this one. How did I get it? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm a reporter. I get the tricks of the trade, and maybe, Rick Regan, who's a producer who runs in this race, gave it to me. Happy New Year, guys. We'll be here live, and we're having a great time. Back to you.
All right, Sukanya, you can end the old year stealing somebody's medal. What a way to end the year. There is, unfortunately, a dark side to this millennium. The city is on alert on this eve of the new millennium. Terrorism fears have led to unprecedented security precautions all across the city. News 2 reporter Marcia Kramer is live at the city's command center with that part of the story tonight. Marcia?
Well, Stephen, the city's theory in getting ready for New Year's was to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And so they decided to shell out $6 million for cops and $350 million to make sure that the computers didn't have any glitches. So far, it appears that it was a good investment. Right now, the 6 emergency service systems are up and running. That's the 911 system, the fire dispatch system, EMS, the traffic management system, water and sewer system, and the Health and Hospitals Corporation. I can report to you that so far tonight there have been 7 arrests. One was a man with a loaded shotgun who was from Saranac, Michigan, who was arrested at a parking garage in Times Square. The others were somewhat minor, 3 disorderly conduct and 1 for impersonating an officer. were not so many crimes for the number of people who were in Times Square. We're live at the Emergency Management Office. I'm Marcia Kramer, News 2.
All right, thank you, Marcia. 7 arrests, I think, is an amazing figure in a city this size.
Up next, did you win $100 million in the Millennium Lottery? Get your tickets ready. We have the numbers for you next.
But first, the places around the world where it's already the year 2000 and has been for a while. We'll show you the celebrations.
Plus the countdown to the big ball drop in Times Square. We'll take you back there live next.
News 2, sponsored by Send.com, where great givers go.
And now, the giver.
Hello, I am the giver. That is Latin for one who loves to give. And as always, Send.com has helped me send a gift to my friends that stands out and says I care. You see, I could not resist sneaking by to see how splendidly my gift of fine wine is going over. Just look how much they love the beautiful...
Freeze, perverts.
Oh my, this cannot look good. Careful, I am a bleeder.
You're tickling the giver.
Send a gift of fine wine elegantly wrapped in white linen. Send.com, where great givers go.
The new year is just over the hill and around the corner. Time is running out, but there's still a little left. So hurry in and save during the final days of the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's your last chance.
Now check out the 4-door, 4-wheel drive Chevy Blazer. Get the driving security you need with the available road gripping auto track system. Plus lease a Blazer for as low as $299 a month. Call for details.
So come in now to the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. Don't let your turn to win pass you by.
Countdown to the Millennium is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevy will be there.
Another live look at Times Square right now, where the countdown to 2000 is in full swing. It's 11:12 and 11 seconds right now. All around the world, countries went all out to ring in the new millennium. The spectacular celebrations went off without any hitches. In London, it was Big Ben that launched the big party. The world's most famous clock shouted out the dawn of the millennium, one toll at a time, while the River Thames became a river of fire. In Paris, one of the most spectacular sights, as the hour of midnight approached, brilliant firework explosions climbed the Eiffel Tower until the whole structure was engulfed at the stroke of midnight. And in the birthplace of Christ, the ancient town of Bethlehem, organizers went all out with a multi-million-dollar celebration, complete with amazing fireworks and the release of 2,000 doves. Athens, Greece was also the site of a spectacular show of fire. Towering columns of light surrounded the Acropolis, and beams radiated from the 2,500-year-old Parthenon. The Great Pyramids of Egypt were a mix of the very old past and the very high-tech present. Tens of thousands of people flocked to the ancient monuments in Giza for a laser light show and extravagant Millennium concert. Fireworks also marked the new millennium in Moscow's Red Square. Russia had been viewed as one of the nations most at risk for Y2K problems because of its nuclear weapons and reactors. And it all happened as her president, Boris Yeltsin, stunned the world when he stepped down. But when midnight rolled around, Mother Russia's missiles stayed put, the electricity and heat stayed on, and she joined the rest of the world in welcoming the new century. In Tokyo, the arrival of the year 2000 was greeted with brilliant fireworks and honking ship horns at Tokyo Bay. Thousands gathered for a gala countdown at a new seaside waterfront. And Sydney, Australia was one of the first cities to welcome the new millennium in the grandest of fashions. More than 1 million people lined the shore to watch the fireworks and laser show. And after we in the East welcome the new millennium in about 40 minutes, the rest of the U.S. and Hawaii follows as time marches relentlessly on. Then the very last time zone, just this side of the international date line, includes the very tip of Alaska in the Aleutian Islands and western Samoa in the South Pacific.
Here at home, the children at St. Brendan's Roman Catholic Church in the Bronx got a special honor tonight. They were chosen to take part in the only official Vatican New Year celebration in America. News 2 reporter Paul Floranges is live. The big moment as it approaches. Paul?
Well, Dana, the New Year celebration will begin 10 minutes early here at St. Brendan's in Norwood. That's when the tiny parish will hook up with the Holy See in Rome via phone to take part in the Catholic Church's worldwide Jubilee 2000 celebration.
Vatican City kicked off the Jubilee 2000-year celebration with fireworks. The pyrotechnic show lit up the midnight sky above St. Peter's Square some 5 hours ago, a prelude to Pope John Paul II's Millennium message delivered to Christians worldwide, celebrating the 2000th anniversary of Christ's birth. Here in the Bronx, the tiny parish of St. Brendan's prepared for its role in the historic celebration. They're the only American parish taking part in the Vatican's worldwide Millennium radio phone hookup.
It's an honor. It's a recognition of the goodness of the people here, the faith that they have, the goodness of the community, the goodness of the whole Bronx. Some people say to me, how come St. Brendan's in the Bronx? I say, why not?
The church's Spanish and Filipino choirs will sing during the 15-minute hookup, and several parishioners will offer Millennium hopes and prayers. Andrew Storer will pray for the end of child abuse and drug abuse among teens.
I hope that God hears these prayers and they come true, that some kids will stop using drugs.
Now, Andrew will just be one of several parishioners who will offer those prayers and hopes for the Millennium here at St. Brendan's. And while the hookup will start at 11:50 and last for only 15 minutes, parishioners here will remember it for a lifetime. Reporting live in the Norwood section of the Bronx, Paul Floranges, News 2.
Thanks, Paul.
Still ahead tonight, we're going to head on back to a few million people in Times Square to check on the big party.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Toyota. Real values every day at your Toyota dealer. Visit us online at driveatoyota.com.
This week, you have a meeting with some very important people. Your family. For an all-inclusive vacation, call 1-800-CLUB-MED or your travel agent now. Club Med. Renew.
This is a fruitcake. You could spend the next few days enjoying holiday treats like this, or you could come to the Gotta Get a Kia year-end sales event and get a 2000 Sportage starting at $13,795 after $1,000 cash back. It's your choice. Either get $1,000 cash back during the Gotta Get a Kia year-end sales event, or enjoy your fruitcake. Nice save.
Here's your regular internet homepage. And here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Very loyal to this site. I'm not going to abandon it for some new guy with a truckload of cash.
You're kidding.
Of course. Do I look like an idiot? Look at this cash.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
4, 5, V6. Sometimes life can be really tough. You want an easier way to get around? Get to the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event, where you'll find the tough Chevy Malibu. It's the lowest priced car with a standard V6 engine, automatic, air, and ABS. Now you can get this great smart lease on Malibu. Call for details. So bypass all detours and go directly to the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's your turn to save.
Let's check back now with Lou Young in Times Square, where the big ball drop is about 41 minutes away. Lou?
Yeah, we got about 1 million revelers here, 8,000 police officers keeping an eye on them. These folks are penned off in security pens containing 3,000 or 4,000 folks apiece, running all the way from 42nd Street to Central Park, and that makes quite a crowd here. Take a look down here at these folks. Choppers overhead, and the folks with their purple hair, and everybody is stoked for the new year. We'll stay with it as we wait for the coming of the millennium. We're live in Times Square. Lou Young, News 2.
Such a colorful international celebration since before dawn. Wow. It's just been a great production.
Let's take a little trip about 15 blocks uptown right now. Linda Church is in for Mark Dannon tonight. Linda, live in Central Park with a look at the weather for us.
It is great out here. And Lou Young in Times Square has all the tourists. If you're from the city, this is where you go. Take a look. Over here, this is the Upper West Side. We also have the Bronx. And over here, I think we have Astoria.
B-side.
Brooklyn. See, we covered New York here in this race. It's great, a fabulous party atmosphere, and some really creative costumes. I've actually seen the Bridge of the Millennium. I've seen a couple of babies, and it's going on right now, and temperatures, they're great. Can you complain about the weather?
Yeah, the weather's great.
See, what do you know? 37 degrees right now. We have a southwest wind at 6. The humidity is 92%. The barometer is pretty strong. You know, we have some great weather over the next couple of days. There's a look. Quite cold north and west. Look at that, 19 in Poughkeepsie, 23 in Danbury. Here's what's going on in the satellite. Mostly clear, no problems there. The forecast for the rest of tonight, it is great. Get out and enjoy. Overnight low temperature tonight in the city around 32 degrees. We'll be down in the teens overnight. Tomorrow, look at that gorgeous, beautiful, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the 50s. There's a look at the 5 days ahead. 50 on Saturday, 58 on Sunday, 56 on Monday, 46 on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, 42 degrees. We have some great kids here. I don't know how they kept these kids up so late, but Happy New Year, sweetie. Let's head back to the studio.
All right, thank you, Linda. I think she could say it's going to be freezing with sleet. They would cheer.
They're just so happy. We'll be back. Gary Apple with a very quick look at sports.
And later we're going to take you back right there to Times Square.
Years of technological achievements have made us what we are today. Jeep is the most award-winning brand of 4x4s of this millennium. So we're celebrating the next millennium with the Jeep Year-End Awards event. With a Cherokee Sport lease for $0 down, $269 a month, and $764 due at signing, plus air and more at no extra charge. Or get a no-charge automatic on select Wranglers. So get to the Jeep Year-End Awards event and see where a little recognition can take you. Check out this $269 lease at your Jeep dealer today.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table? Reservation. Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington? Sir, that's only $1. Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee. Great rates and no monthly fee? All day, every day. Oh. Walk this way.
Dial 1010-220.
Who said less is more?
More is more.
You get more for the money.
Get more savings every day. Now you get more for your money every day with Mickey D's Dollar Deals. And the deals are always changing, so check it out today. Hey, what more could you ask for?
Individually, they are standouts in their respective classes. Collectively, they paint a portrait of daring and innovation. Characteristics that produced groundbreaking vehicles like Dodge Caravan. Right now, you can get a $219 a month lease on the most imitated, most trusted, and best-selling minivan ever. If you're ready to move in a different direction, get to the Dodge Year-End event today.
Goldfish, 2 million people plus goldfish in Times Square. It's a zoo out there, didn't I tell you? The Millennium lottery numbers are in as we look live at Times Square, and that cute little baby floating up there. $100 million is at stake, so get your tickets out. Here are the winning numbers: 8, 23, 38, 39, 46, and the Millennium Ball 14. This is the largest jackpot in the history of the New York Lottery. The odds of winning, you know this line, they're 52 million to 1. If there's no grand prize winner tonight, another drawing will be held next week. Only takes one ticket, though.
That's all it takes. Gary Apple is in tonight for Warner. Happy New Year to you. And you've got some winning and losing numbers.
Yes, I certainly did not win, by the way, guys. Independence Bowl, a blowout in progress. Ole Miss leads Oklahoma 21-18. They're in the fourth quarter. Deuce McAllister, not to be confused with Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo. The longest run of the game's history, 80 yards right here. Made it 21-3 in the second quarter. They're not going to get him. And again, right now, it is 21-18. They are early in the fourth quarter. Liberty Bowl, Southern Miss 20 43-17 over Colorado State. Less than 2 minutes in, State quarterback Matt Newton loses the ball. It's Chad Williams who picks it up. In for the touchdown. It proved to be the margin of victory. Insight.com Bowl. Colorado buried flu-ridden Boston College 62-28. Second quarter, Ben Kelly takes the punt at his own 12-yard line, and then look at the moves here. Getting through the gut of the defense, breaks to the outside, heads 88 yards for a touchdown, 35-0 Colorado, and they win it by 34. And at the Sun Bowl, Oregon knocked off Minnesota 24-20. That's it, guys. The last Big Apple Sportscast of the Millennium. I'm Gary Apple.
We'll see you next Millennium, Gary.
We'll be right
I know it's tough.
with another live report from Times Square.
Some things have a way of changing your whole outlook, like the Chrysler year-end event, because now you can drive the 300M with 0.9 APR for over $5,000 in finance savings. The Chrysler year-end event, it can have a profound influence on you. Buy 300M with 0.9 APR for over $5,000 in finance savings.
It was the holidays in Cellular Town, and all was not well.
What happened here?
It's the cellular, sir. The long distance bill. Sign a contract.
Here, the Sprint PCS free and clear plan gives you crystal clear calls for as little as a dime anytime.
Hey, Sprint PCS!
From anywhere in their nationwide network.
Hey, everybody!
300 anytime minutes for only $30, including free long distance.
Announcing the Nissan year-end countdown event. For 14 days, just 336 hours, Nissan is offering some of the best deals of the year. Now get $500 in addition to existing incentives when you purchase or lease the new 2000 Altima, Quest, Sentra, Frontier, even Pathfinder. That's a total of $2,500 or more in savings. So what are you waiting for? You've just let another 30 seconds go by. This $2,500 or more in savings ends January 3rd.
Before we go, let's check in at Times Square.
And the old intrepid reporter, News 2's Lou Young is there live. Lou?
We're listening to rock and roll now. This party's winding up to the Millennium. The doors to this party have been barred since 9 o'clock by police. Times Square is full, and so are 7th Avenue and Broadway, the two avenues that make up Times Square, all the way north to 59th Street, which is Central Park South. The crowd is festive, well-behaved. There has been some moderate drinking, we can report, but people seem to be under control here, and we are standing by for the Millennium. Only 7 arrests so far. For this crowd, that's not bad. Back to you.
Excellent, Lou. Thanks a lot.
We hope his voice holds out as long as the Millennium.
Yeah, he's just got a half hour.
That's News 2 for this Friday night, New Year's Eve. I'm Stephen Clark.
I'm Dana Tyler. Up next, continuing coverage from CBS of America's Millennium, including live from Washington.
By the way, we will show you the ball drop at midnight live right here, so take a look at that. Plus, we'll have an update for you just after midnight, about a half an hour. We wish you a Happy New Year and, well, a good start to a new millennium.
Happy New Year.